What is up, guys? Welcome to Boomer Base and Things. I'm on my way to go watch the first Slam Dunk movie. Very excited to watch my first sports anime in the cinema and things. I am very excited for it. I am really hoping it will be very good. I am slightly worried about the whole sort of 2D, 3D animation with the CGI. I'm not sure how that's going to gel and things, but fingers crossed it's very good. Stay tuned for my review to come shortly.
After cinema reviews.
What is up, guys? Welcome to Boomer Base. Today I am here to talk about the first Slam Dunk movie.
But before we get to the real content, if you end up liking what you see and want to see more, please subscribe and hit the bell to be notified anytime I upload.
Now, this was very exciting for me to go watch, as I am an avid lover of the manga. A quick just background, the Slam Dunk manga is my third favourite manga that I have read, with Bakuman, Naruto, then Slam Dunk in that order. It's my favourite sports series that I have read, so it was really exciting for me to hear that there was going to be a movie released in the cinema. So I was thoroughly excited for that. It's the first time that I've watched a sports anime movie in the cinema, so that was just an all-round really exciting experience for me to have. Now, I did try to watch the anime coming up to viewing this again, but time got away from me, and then when I went to go watch it on Crunchyroll, unfortunately Crunchyroll in the UK, it's not available anymore, so I had to use alternative methods, but I sadly only got up to episode 40 with things and stuff just because of work and whatnot and other parts of social life. I wasn't able to fully commit to catching up, which is a disappointment, and I think it would have added even more elevation to this movie. But first off, let me say, this was incredible. I had some high hopes going into this movie, but I was a little bit worried and a little bit jarred with the sort of 2D/3D CGI animation of this movie. But let me tell you right now, that was in no way a bad point of the movie. If anything, it was a really good aspect of this movie. It allowed for the players to look really realistic and fluid. My God, the Foley of this movie, the sound effects was so on point. I'm struggling to even get my words out because they're trying to come out so fast. It was incredible to see it was as if I was watching real players and things. It was so good, the animation. I honestly I couldn't believe it. It was great, For me, when I first heard about this movie, I thought it was going to be maybe some form of continuation thing or just almost maybe a prequel or something. But I'm glad that it just adapted the last fight between Sanon, or Sanon, however you pronounce it. And I'm really glad as a manga-only, essentially, reader that I got to experience this with probably returning fans. Now, my cinema where I live, it isn't the biggest place, especially for anime, but the cinema itself was relatively packed, and it was really nice to see that. Now, this was a very tough film as a whole, as there was a lot of things to do with grief with this movie. Spoilers ahead. If you don't want to know, then please, tune in after you've watched the film. This movie takes the point of view of the point guard of Shohoku, called Miyagi, and we get to see a bit about his background and things. We learn about his father's passing. We learn about his brother that kind of got him into basketball and things, and who was maybe a quote prodigy, if you like. I don't really know. We didn't get to explore that too much, but he was captain of his team, and unfortunately Miyagi's brother did pass away, which was nice. Or, not nice, but it was nice to see that element, and it added a real heavy part to the movie, which elevated the movie as a whole. It dealt with bereavement and grief very well, I thought. It wasn't, too implausible or anything like that. It showed a lot of great aspects that are sometimes missed, being maybe the middle child and feeling like you were the one that should have died instead of the brother who your mum loved, and the resentment kind of that you felt and things, and battling through that alongside just other things to do with like growing up as a kid, moving school, this, that, and the other. It was really nice to see a bit more behind the scenes of Mitsui's story as well. But again, it was a 2-hour film, and we had to condense pretty much 4 to 5 books worth of manga material into a 2-hour film. So I understand why it was a bit jarring and things to do. And I know some people might not like that it kept flicking backwards and forth. I know I wasn't the biggest fan of that, but every time that it did flick back, once it sort of like got the groove again, I was just fully on board all the time. There wasn't once where I was bored in this movie. It was just start to finish. I was just engulfed in watching this movie and watching it unfold, not knowing what things will be new that I'll see on the screen, and just being able to watch this such an insane match on the big screen was just incredible to me, because I thought with the Slam Dunk anime that it had all finished and things. I didn't realise that they didn't get to do this last match, so I can only imagine how the fans must feel for this. You know, especially having something as old as Slam Dunk be revitalised to the big screen for a whole new generation. I think we're talking like 20 plus years after the manga ended and things. So I was, slightly worried for that, but they've absolutely smashed it out of the park. And I have heard that, I think it's past Ponyo as the 7th highest grossing anime movie of all time in Japan, which is only further just enhances just how good this movie is. But I cannot do anything other than give a massive, thumbs up / salute, Attack on Titan, hand on my chest, whatever you want to do for the creator and director Takahiko Inoue. And I'm fairly sure this is his first directorial debut, so he is blown it out of the park. And not to milk this series, but I would love to see some other stuff in the future, whether it's continuation, because we saw Miyagi, I think in college maybe, and I can't remember if we saw that in the end of the Slam Dunk manga. I'm 99% sure we didn't, but that was a very cool element to see, so I would love if we explored some of that in the future and things. It was, as I've mentioned, really great to have a new protagonist's point of view with Miyagi instead of Sakuragi. That was very cool, and I thought the whole story, blending between the matches, having the difficult points for Miyagi's character and seeing more of his past and things, it just opened up a whole new environment for the Slam Dunk property as a whole for me. There was so many tense points in this movie, and I honestly thought some of them are going to be spoilt by people in the cinema, but everyone seemed to be glued to their seat and completely silent. Like there was a few times where I thought I might tear up and cry. There was times where I felt like I was catching my breath for the intensity. Like the last few seconds, or minutes, but seconds in the match, for Shohoku to win, I was so fidgety. My biggest thing to say is if you haven't watched or read Slam Dunk at all, I highly recommend that you read it as well as watch it, but reading is probably the easier of the digestion for someone. It's 31 books, which I know can seem a bit daunting, but I pretty much went through that in a 24-hour period. I got so hooked to it. I'm just struggling to say anything really that isn't just, this was incredible. Like, I don't want it just to be like 10 minutes or so of me saying that this was amazing, but I had a lot of fun, and I'm just very surprised in regards to like sports anime movies and things in the past. Like, I've seen Kuroko's basketball last game. I've watched the sort of like the Haikyuu recap movies. I've watched the Initial D movie, which I suppose counts as a sports thing. I've watched the Yowamushi Pedal sort of recap movies, as well as the Haikyuu ones, but there isn't many as a whole for actual sports like anime movies. I know we have the Haikyuu one coming out. I've also seen Redline, to be fair, and I know there's a few free ones. I haven't seen any of Inazuma 11 or anything like that. It's something that I do eventually want to try watch, as despite having this sort of powers and things, I think it'll be very good. I have actually no clue if there's anything to do with Baki for a sort of OVA movie style thing, but that'll be something very cool to look at and explore if there is something. I think there is a couple of major movies, but I think I might have seen one of those because I did go on a massive binge of Major back in the day. But no, like, I just want sports anime as a whole to just keep getting as much love as it is getting, and just give us more. It's my favorite genre for anime, and I think manga as a whole. I get so encapsulated every time I watch or read it. It gets me wanting to play the sport like no man's business. Like, nothing I think in my life motivates me as much as when I watch or read sports anime and manga. Although I don't ever take it up at all, but I never feel such motivation apart from with that. It's crazy to me. The only negatives with the film in the cinema is just the trailers they played. They were not anime related at all, which was quite annoying. But other than that, I really don't have any problem with the movie. And I can just only sing its praises, really. Like, I really recommend that you go watch this movie, and I hope that you get to enjoy it. I think this is okay for people that haven't even watched Slam Dunk to go into, although it will be a bit jarring and things, and you might feel that the backwards and forwards between the match and Miyagi's backstory might be a bit too much for you, but I honestly think it will be really worth it, and it might even inspire you to just go read or watch Slam Dunk. And all I can just say is I'm just really happy that I got to see it in the cinema. If you've managed to make it this far, let me know if you've seen it. Let me know if Slam Dunk's something you've ever watched or read before. Let me know what your favourite sports anime is in the comment section below. I look forward to hearing about it. But don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff, and tune in to the next video. Take care now.
Hey, thank you for watching the video. Click the button to keep watching, or click the other video for more videos, and don't forget to subscribe. Thank you.